Wow, we're getting quite busy in here, so I presume everyone here is for Michele and James on stage, so the Q&A session, yes? Is anyone else coming? We'll be starting in a few minutes. I'll let you know what else is going on as well. In Monka Level 3, there is the Bandersnatch Studios Ask Marauders Anything, and of course there's the Gundam Speed build going on in the Magpie Suite on Level 6. So, if you don't want to be here, there's little things, but we encourage you thoroughly to be here. Because these are two of the people who you've come to see, obviously, this weekend, right? I mean, as well as all your friends. Yay! It's official, we have both Michele and James, so can anyone who wants to come to this Q&A panel, please come down from the back, sit yourselves down. I'll be running around with the microphone this time. We'll let Ed have a break. Great. Are we ready? Are we still setting up at the front?
This thing up.
Whoa.
That work? But hi, everybody.
Okay, so these people don't really need such a huge announcement as I'm going to give, but let's cover all of the posts on it. So we have James Carter Cathcart. I have done my research on this. He is a pianist. He has been playing piano for us yesterday twice, and I've heard he's amazing. He has done voices for shows. Well-known shows, kids shows. Ones like Cubics, One Piece, Ping Pong Club, Shaman King, Slays, Tokyo Mew Mew, Ultimate Muscle, and he was also Weevil Underwood in Yu-Gi-Oh! He's also worked on other projects such as The World of Naru and in Pokemon, which is probably what he's most well known for. He's done roles such as Gary Oak, James Meowth, Professor Oak, and many, many more. It would be an exhaustive list and an exhausting list. So, and other games as well. We've done One Piece games and you've done Smash Bros. Brawl.
Oh, yes.
And our other guest, of course, is Michele Knotts. And she's done anime such as... Oh, come on, let's have the cheer then. Come on, get out there. Thanks. And we've done anime such as Ladies vs. Butlers, The World of Naru as well, Queen's Blade, and since Series 9 of Pokemon, she's done May, Misty, Jessie, and Nurse Joy. And again, numerous Pokemon roles in the most recent films and anime. And Karina in the One Piece film Gold. And And the games that Michele has voiced for are Poké Park 1 and 2, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and Super Smash Bros. So give it up for our two guests, and I'll let you say it.
Hi! It's so great being here. Thank you so much. We were just we were hoping to be able to shoot a few videos up, and we're doing our regular computer stuff, which may not work. But I'm James Carter Cathcart because she's the cute one. And I'll just briefly, I started, it was an American show called the ABC Weekend Special back in 1992. I'm a musician, and I was doing the music package for this show, and the host was this cartoon cat named O.G. Reedmore, which probably nobody's ever heard of, but it was a big show in America, and they wanted somebody to do a new voice for the character, and he was also the spokes cat for Project Literacy, which it turned out to be like every library in the country had this poster of O.G. Reedmore. So I said, I know somebody, me. So I started doing that as well, and then I started doing lots of anime and doing singing jingles, and then this show from Japan kind of showed up, and the only thing we knew about it was that some poor soul there was a scene with a strobe effect in Pokemon, and then all we knew was that this poor kid had an epileptic seizure from watching the stroke. I said, well, that's encouraging. But we all went in there and started doing it, and my first role was Gary Oak, who I love because he's such a snot. And I've been with the show ever since, and I started writing the English adaptations in season 5, and we're in season 20 now. Yes. So and now I'm mainly voicing Meowth and James, which is great because I get to write these dumb jokes, or her too, and then we go in and do them. So, and that's why I'm here. So it's a pleasure to be here. And here's Michele.
Thanks, James. Hi! Wow, this is incredible. Thank you so much for having us here. This is, James has been here before. Well, not here, but you've been in England. You went to London and stuff. This is my first time out of the States, so this is really incredible. We've had such a great time. Oh, it's been so much fun. I've been doing voiceover for about 14 years. So yeah, it's been an incredible ride. It's been awesome. I started in like around 2003. My first role was the World of Norway as Hajime Yagi. That was really cool. So I was a theater major, and then I studied radio and television broadcasting. I actually come from news, which is really weird because I don't have the personality for news. I worked for news stations in America, so like MSNBC. I don't know if you guys get anything like that around here. I don't know if CNN is like global and like things like that. Like MSNBC is kind of like a CNN kind of thing. So it's weird. I come from news, and it was too real for me, and I didn't like it. I didn't want to do it anymore. So I wanted to do, something not real, something fake. So I'm gonna work on cartoons and anime and video games and fun stuff. So yeah, geez, I've been in Pokemon since season 9, the Battle Frontier. So I started as Jessie and May in that. So that was fun. I was Nurse Joy for seasons 9 through 13 because I changed Nurse Joy like all the time. Nurse Joy has so many different voices. Yeah, I've done like a ton of video games. We're on Facebook, so if you want to like find us on Facebook, I'm on Facebook and Twitter, and I have a website if you want to like look it up. I friend everybody. I love friending people, and I like telling everybody about my new announcements and things. I just got into Smite. I don't know if you guys play Smite. It's kind of like a League of Legends, a little bit. Paladins. Oh, somebody knows Smite over here. Yes. Oh, yes. So it's kind of like a League of Legends game. So I'm the Sparrow Nike. So I got the Sparrow Nike in Smite, which is really cool. She's a lot of fun. If you want to get her, she's really cool. So yeah, thanks for having us here. We're trying to play some videos for you guys if we can get the equipment to work. So, but I don't know. Do you want to take any questions or?
Of course. I was just going to say that I learned more about what I've done from you guys because half the time I don't remember. because there's all these different shows. But then people will come and mention a show like, I do remember that I was on Slayers, and I do remember that I was Mickey and Utena, and I do remember I was Weevil, Underwood, and Yu-Gi-Oh! But other shows, I just kind of... Cubics, right. Cubics had... I was a character named Mong. That was the name in the States. And then they brought it here, and I think it was a couple of years after the show debuted in the States. So they had already mixed the whole show. So he was like Mong, and then we all went deaf. But anyway, somebody came from the UK and said, "You can't say the word Mong." And I was like, "Why?" Because it means, it's the same way that you can't root for somebody. I mean, we're learning the whole thing. Even one time I wrote James, I used to do it all the time, saying, "Bloody this and bloody that," because I just hear it. And they say, "Well, really?" So it's been an education. But Mom became Mark, and it was so weird because all they had were the mixes. So it was kind of like you'd hear, blah, 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 Mark, blah, 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 Mark, you know, and they tried to overdub it. But it was a Korean show. Robots for Everyone. I don't know if anybody even knows what that show is. Really? I love that show. The hardest part about that show is it's a Korean show, and most of the words end in vowels. So it's like, well, that's not really what they do in English. So we had to kind of dance around all that stuff. But that was great, and there were at one point, 4Kids had 6 or maybe 8 shows, because they had Saturday morning 4Kids entertainment. So there was a lot. We'd kind of go in there, and Veronica Taylor and Eric Stewart and all, we'd just go in there, and there were tons of shows, and we had a great time. And then little by little, then Pokemon decided to form their own production company at Season 9 USA, and that's when the cast kind of changed over, and that's when we started being Team Rocket. So here we are, being Team Rocket.
Video.
I know, Chris has got some videos.
There.
Really?
He has to play from back there for some reason.
Okay.
He can't play from up here.
He has some
You have to just kind of direct him.
choice. Let her rip! I don't know. Here. Oh, Chris! Here we go. Oh, cool. He heard me.
Can you turn it up, Chris?
Turn it up! Oh, wow!
Pika? Look, it's waving! You sure are cute! That one! Pika!
Did someone ask something? We're here to find out.
Noble answer. So what?
So brilliant. The flowers that won't hide in shame. A single flower of evil in this fleeting world. Jesse.
The nobly heroic band of our times, the master of darkness fighting back against the tragic world. It's James.
It's all for one and one for all. A glittering dark star that always shines bright, even while the outfits fly. Team Rocket, let's fight! That's right!
A luxury ball. Perfect timing.
Not that! It's part of my precious collection!
Your collection. It's valuable when someone uses it.
Don't do it! Anything that doesn't!
It down! Direct hit!
It's part of the family!
My poor collection!
Get your big paws off me! best of the best, you see.
And that would be Jessie, Meow, and me!
To protect the world from devastation.
To unite all people within our nation!
Denounce the evil.
To extend our reach to the stars above!
Jesse.
And it's James!
The speed of light.
Surrender now or prepare for one confusing fight!
Yeah, that's right!
I suggest we split into 2 teams.
Okie doke.
Yeah, okie doke. Of course, when I agreed to this, I hadn't planned on being part of Team Y'all. Hey, whatever. It's time for you to pretend to beat the boogie to the basin.
Behind those balls is a wealth of Pokeballs.
Then let us now proceed to claim our wealth of shell.
Get mobile, kiddo! Good thing you didn't swallow him. Chill out! No way we're stealing Pokeballs even if we look like thieves! Hey, you quacking about we're part of Team Rocket! Come clean, you're nothing but one of them toy Pokemon! Don't you know, yeah?
We're here to take you on a happy-go-lucky tour of the lovely surroundings nature has to offer ya, don't you know?
If you're looking for fairy flowers, we'll help you find them, don't you know?
You'll help us find a fairy flower? Too, don't you know? Since they're out of season at the moment, an amateur would have a hard time finding one, don't you know?
Nurse Joy did tell us the same thing.
But wait, there's more! Today's your lucky day! Our first 4 customers get their tour for free, don't you know, yeah?
Wow, you mean it? We've never been meaner.
It is our lucky day.
Come on, we don't have that much time. Let's go with them so we can find a fairy flower.
Pigana!
Don't you know?
I'm into starting to talk like that.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah. I want to thank you fine folks for participating in our special free for all happy-go-lucky tour, don't you know?
I say we get this trappy-go-twerpy tour off and touring, don't you know, yeah?
Right, we forgot his pudding, yeah.
Hey, right this way, don't you know, yeah?
Hey, that's a Panther, isn't it?
That's right.
Hi, the name's Ash, and I came all the way here from Pallet Town.
Well, I come from here, and I'm Myron.
Hey, Serena and Bonnie, check it out. There's a Panther over here.
Hi. I'm Serena from Vanderbilt Town.
I'm Bonnie from Romeo City. This is my cute friend, Danny.
And this is my partner, Pikachu.
Huh? Your Pikachu can float in the air?
That's from lots of special training. Awesome, huh? Right, buddy?
Huh? I didn't know a Pikachu sounded like that.
Well, you do. So let's have a battle.
Battle? No way! I really don't want to put Pancham in a battle.
Having a battle's awesome. So what do you say? Hey, Pikachu, you side beam.
Now how would your Pikachu know how to use Side Beam?
We train hard. Now, tackle.
Pancham! Are you okay? Stop it already!
What a bore having a battle with a weak Pancham. We should go before I fall asleep.
That's too bad. Ever seen anything so uncute?
I'm gonna tell Officer J!
Here you go. Hey, you didn't pay for anything.
That's because I'm Ash from Pallet Town.
And I'm Serena from Vanderbilt Town.
And I'm cute Bonnie from Romeo City.
after eating and drinking so much.
Well, they didn't exactly hightail it back, but we're back now and Pikachu's waiting.
As long as we're a team, we still got the dream. And kids, so dream with us.
So it was cool in those things. James voiced Carnivine, and I voiced Piplup, which was cool. So we had those 2 shots in there. So I got the awesome, pleasure of voicing Beware. So, which is very, very high. Beware's nice one. It's just like, I wouldn't scream. I don't want to kill anybody's ears. But yeah, that's hard to do.
That episode with Carnivine with all the Pokeballs,
yeah.
that was from a Lean Mean Team Rocket machine, which was one of my, it like wrote itself. I mean, because it was so silly, because at the beginning, they're a little overweight, so they gotta lose some weight, but I remember we had to make it sound different. So they had this big bowl of Jolly Ranchers candies in the studio, so I filled my mouth with those things, and so that was towards the end after they've gotten themselves svelte. So, but that was good. Thank you, Chris. Chris Smith.
So how do you want to do questions and stuff?
How would you like to proceed? Well, what we did with Bryce was he said he had some stories that he thought you should tell first, or things that people you should ask questions about, and if you told the stories then I might answer some questions, and then afterwards we just open the floor up and answer questions until the end of the panel time.
Oh, okay.
How do you feel about that?
Sure.
Do you have any stories to tell? Crazy stories? Well, the Jolly Ranchers thing is pretty funny.
We've already started.
So many crazy stories.
The only thing that would really be fun to do, and ever since the beginning of the show, we've never been able to voice together as a group.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to, talk like this and then talk like this. I couldn't do it because you have to do everybody separate, including the different parts. And so when I see Michele, it's either on the way in or on the way out. And early on in the show, Channel 11 in New York used to do promos, and they were every Friday. And so that would be the time there was another studio where we'd all get to see each other and actually sit and catch up on what everybody was doing. But it's all separate. And another ironic part, I think, is you would think that in Japan, they would do the voices first, like a screenplay, like they do at Pixar, and like they do at all the other, things, and then draw to the voices. They don't. They actually, the guys animate looking at the script, thinking what it's gonna look like. And then they all stand, and they're all in a room together, and then they'll do all the acting together as a group. But it's like, you have your shot, and that's why you see, it's true, the cliche is true, because they're just kind of doing it on the fly. So I think, because we dub it to what we see, it looks more in sync. That's the goal, is always to make it more in sync. And the scripts as well. But they just kind of let it loose in Japan. And I love the Japanese actors, don't get me wrong. But since I adapt the scripts, I kind of have to, lip flap, I dream. Sometimes after I've written for like 8 hours in a row, I'll go outside and people will be talking and stuff, and I'll think that they're animated. It's really a very strange feeling, and it's not really happening. And I go, oh, you're out of sync, the flap came early, and it didn't. I'm just lost my mind. So, but I love doing that. One of my favorite things, obviously, is to be able to write the gags like in Lean Mean Team Rocket Machine, and then go into the studio and voice the gags. So I'm very happy about all that. But they got a lot of gags. A lot of them do, but I think we are blessed with the majority of gags. I think.
Yeah, I think Team Rocket is more like a comic relief than like really the bad guys. They do some bad stuff, but I think they're more funny then.
I love Team Skull. Do you guys like Team Skull?
There they are! There they are! Over there! There they are! Yes!
Awesome. You guys are great.
They're funny. Especially in the games, too. They're, like, super funny in the games. Like, the way they talk. And they're always doing this. They're so funny. I think they're the best. Because there was, like, Team... what were the other ones? Aqua, Magma, or... Team Flare, I think all the other ones, but Team Skull I think is the funniest one out of all of them. I love them so much.
Team Flare was scary. I mean, they could have really done some serious damage had they hung out, but...
Team Flare was more like serious.
Yeah.
I love Team Skull though, they're so funny.
I do, I like them.
Even the games. Do you guys play the games? Do you have Sun and Moon? Yeah! Ultra Moon! Oh yeah, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Cool. But I wish I had time to play the games. I love them. Like, I do have like X and Y and Black and White. I have like no time to play them. I wish I had more time. So Chris plays them a lot.
Oh, I know. When Pokemon Go came out last fall, I live in Fort Lee, New Jersey, and it's kind of spread out all over near the George Washington Bridge. And of course, the first few weeks there were like groups of like 8, 10, and they're walking into walls and they're walking out into traffic. But I would go walk behind them and just kind of wait till they're really into it, and I would say, "Did you catch me yet?" Unfortunately, they would turn around and just think I was out of my mind. They had no idea. I mean, my son, when Pokemon first came out, he was 4. So one day after school, I picked him up. So this must have been the year after. And I said to his friend, I said, "You know, I'm Gary, by the way." "Gary who?" I said, "Gary-O from Pokemon." And he was like, "Yeah, right." And so nobody ever believes me. What am I going to do? But it's okay. It's fine. But when Pokemon Go first started, that was an adventure because it was a little scary actually because kids were walking into the street and not seeing where they were going. But it was still fun anyway.
That's why they're putting the warning in the beginning. It's like, they put a warning in the beginning, especially people driving too. Because they'll pop a warning and say, "You're going too fast." Which is funny because sometimes they'll just be walking and, it's like, "I'm not in a car. I'm not in a car." But, yeah, I mean, I think that's a good thing too, to put the warnings up too. Pokemon Go is the one thing that I do have time to play because you walk a lot in New York. When you're in New York, you do a lot of walking. So I'm like, oh, okay, at least I can play this. Like, the other games on the Nintendo DS and stuff, it's a little more harder and you have to put a little more time into it. But I'm like, oh, Pokemon Go is easy. I'm just walking. There it is. Catch it. Awesome. So that's a lot more easier to do than the other games. So I like it. But I'm still only level 24. So some people around here are like level 40. I'm like, how? You need like 500 million points to try and do that. How many levels are there? I don't know. 40? I think it stops at 40 right now. Yeah, that's crazy. How many of you play Pokemon Go? Pokemon Go? It's like right here. Cool.
Wait. See, I'm sorry, but I never have any time to do anything. But I truly don't know. In the game, doesn't the camera on your phone automatically open up?
You can turn off the camera, or you can have it on. Yeah.
But does it but it'll take pictures? Like if you're in your house.
You can take pictures.
If you're like on the toilet playing the game, will it take a picture of your bathroom? I don't know. I'm asking. I really don't know because there. You can do it in the camera. No, it won't? Okay, that's good. Because there was a conspiracy going around when the game first came on. They're saying, well, this is part of Google, and Google, they've taken pictures of every outside space in the world. Now they're after your house. And this is how they're going to do it, by taking pictures when you're playing the game. And it was conspiracy. It was a little, tin hat, all that kind of stuff. But when you think about it, as long as you can turn it off, then that's fine. I didn't know that. But I don't want anybody taking a picture of my toilet. I don't. So that's a lot of people playing it. Isn't it great? I have a lot of friends of mine that have sent me pictures of me. Meowth, like all over the place. And they use, so I'm trying to figure it out, is it gyms or library? Churches? They use churches for gyms?
Yeah.
Stops?
The stops where you can get more Pokeballs.
Okay, because for a while I know at St. Luke's Church where my wife preaches, there were kids all over the front steps going crazy for like weeks, which was fun. But it was it was interesting. So what's the highest level anybody's got?
40. 40!
So that's it.
It caps at 40 at the moment.
So are they gonna upgrade it?
Maybe soon. It's the 1 year anniversary.
Yes.
That's what we'll get everybody.
I wish they had let us talk in the games. That would have been
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
I just hit 30 on Tuesday.
I just hit level 30 on Tuesday when we went to go visit the new Expo.
Yay!
I caught Mr. Mime today. We don't have Mr. Mime in the States. We have Tauros instead.
No, Mr. Mime.
So I got my first Mr. Mime. This solstice event has thrown me off.
Tauros is going to the United States. Mr. Mime is here.
Oh, I see.
Tauros is the United States, or North America, I suppose. Mr. Mime is Europe. Kangaskhan is in Australia. Farfetch'd is in Asia. And the rumor is that Heracross is in South America. I don't know if
You have
Africa
to go
has
to each continent.
one. Go get him.
That's probably.
That's what I want you to do. Is to go to each.
What's that? Africa has Corsola? That's not fair. I want Corsola.
It's any tropical area.
Any tropical area. Oh, that makes more sense. Well,
Oh, really? No?
Some of them you can hatch into eggs. Yeah. You gotta
like eggs.
not those eggs.
I like dying over easy.
Should we take some questions?
I'll start on this side and I'll work around the other. Okay.
Yes, over there.
She's got a mic, so
Red coat.
Hi, do you kind of feel like James is a good person, but he's kind of in too deep now and he just follows Jesse and Meowth? He doesn't know what he's doing anymore.
Is James a good person with bad people?
I think James and Meowth too are sweethearts. I really do. They're very good. They're easily hurt, very gentle. The second episode that I voiced as James was Sweet Baby James, when he had to give his chime echo to Nanny and Papa. And there are several parts in that episode where he cries. And I can't cry unless I'm crying, so I just cried my way through that episode. But it was like a whole different, not that was the first time that side was shown, but he's a dear heart. And Meowth is a big mush too, So yes, the answer is yes. James is a good heart.
There's noodles roaming off where Meowth just wants to be a noodle chef.
That's right. So except I don't remember what he says. Yeah, Meowth makes noodles because he's tired of getting pushed around. And Jesse's a dear heart too. But I think Jesse has issues. Which is good.
She's got her issues, yes, definitely.
Mom died or anything.
Wow.
Heavy. Nobody dies. No? Yeah,
They
right.
only faint.
They faint. They just faint.
And get thunderstorm.
They,
Well, if you ever watched Yu-Gi-Oh, Weevil Underwood, he was always a... He was a bug trainer, but what I loved about him was he was a really intense guy, but he always ended up getting beat, crying, and fainting. I miss the guy. He hurt my throat like crazy when I had to do it.
Everything is just up here like this.
But it's still was fun. And Eric Stewart was my director. So we all go back a long time, a long way. Well, it's a big family, but anyway, that's that.
Do you want to take another question?
So hi, so I just want to quickly say Weevil Underwood was my favourite character in Yu-Gi-Oh! As a kid, but I also want to ask, for both of you, would you say anime has influenced your life in any way, has impacted it because you're both voice actors?
Anime influenced. Can we answer first?
Sure, go ahead.
Well, it's funny because like I'm kind of an anime fan. Okay, so it was funny because when I was younger I would watch like Speed Racer and Voltron and things like that, and I didn't know it was from Japan. I had no idea because I was a kid and I was like, yay, Voltron robots, cool. So as I got older, when I was in college, I first started to get into anime, which was kind of cool. I was like, oh, this is from Japan, and they dub it into English. So the first one I ever really watched was called Battle Angel. I don't know if anybody knows what that is.
Yes, I do.
It's like a 2-episode OVA. It's like, nobody really knows Battle Angel. Okay. How about, it was called Poltergeist Report, Yu Yu Hakusho? So, okay, so he knows it. So, I started to get into that. So my favorites really, I love Cowboy Bebop. And Ghost in the Shell is one of my favorites. Like the movies and the show, I love the show too. I love following both of them. So it's funny because I started out kind of as a fan, and then at conventions, I used to go. Like I was one of you. I was an attendee. I went and I paid for my badge and everything and went to panels and stuff. I'm like, oh, this is really cool. And then it's funny, I became a staffer at one of the conventions, so I was one of the people that run the show. So that was fun. And then I went through stages, and then I got into voice acting. So now I'm on this side, and I get to be a guest at conventions, which is really cool. So I don't know if anime necessarily has influenced my voice acting. Because like I wanted to do theater, I wanted to start out theater, I wanted to be on Broadway, and I wanted to be in all the plays. But my life kind of changed, and I went into news instead, and then I got into voice acting like through that. So to do more fun stuff. So yeah, I think I don't know. It influenced me starting to go to conventions. So I'll say that with anime. How about you?
Well. The thing about that, I'll go back to the 4Kids things. When they had 5 or 6 studios and 8 different shows going all the time. And there were so many things that I mean, it was my total life, but I kind of didn't even know what I was doing half the time. I mean, I was doing it, but I couldn't remember it. So there was a show called Revolutionary Girl Utena. And I was Mickey, who was the piano player, whose sister was in love with him, and all that kind of stuff. So we did, I don't know how many seasons, maybe 4. And the last season, it was for Central Park Media. And so Tom Whalen was the producer, and he came in the last day, and he said, okay, we're all going to sit down, we're going to do a video about your experiences doing Utena and what the show is about. And I said, I don't know what the show is about. To this day, I mean, I can describe it, but I really don't know what it's about. But everybody's looks great when they all sit around and plot the destruction or the overthrow of the world. And I liked Mickey anyway because he was so gentle, and he was a piano player. That's right, and I'm a piano. That's right. But there's an awful lot of shows back there that I miss a lot of them. Oh, there's a show. Cindy here knows, called The Ping Pong Club, which is probably an unknown show, but I was the character of Maeno, and they did 26 episodes, and it's just right on the borderline of like, oh, that's just wrong. But it's about an 8th grade class of boys who have a ping pong club, and you can imagine what happens in it. But if you ever like have time to kill, go on YouTube and check out Ping Pong Club, because it's a really funny show. We would go in and just dub stuff and do it on the fly. And there was really we could say kind of whatever we wanted, and we did. And it was the original gang from like Yu-Gi-Oh! And all the 4Kids stuff. We're all doing this show, but it's like very strange. So anyway, Ping Pong Club, please check it out. And hopefully you'll still like me.
They want a parental warning on that.
They should. I know. It's a hard R.
Do we have another question?
Is any show that you regretted doing? Any show that
Ping Pong Club, right? No.
I love Ping Pong Club. Anything you regretted doing?
No, I don't think so.
Because they all
Because they all pay our bills. Because we all get paid money for them so we can pay our rent and our electric and gas and heat and all that stuff. No, I don't like to go into any booth and do a bad job. I like to go in there and give 200% and come out either crying or sweating or any. I don't care, what it is. Like, I want to make that character believable, and I don't want to do a bad job at all, ever, when I go into a booth. When I go in there, when I go in for that audition, I'm like, oh, this is just a junky show. I don't know. I go in and do like the best audition that I can. So I appreciate any roles that I can get in video games or anime or anything. I work on telephone prompts and those are boring, but they pay the bills. That's like when you call somebody and say, thank you for calling MasterCard. Please press 1 for this.
Really?
So yeah. Well, not MasterCard. I don't do the MasterCard or Visa. I don't know what credit cards they have here. I'm talking about American credit cards, but I'm not sure. Are they all the same? Oh, okay, great. So American Express is that Visa, Discover, those kind of things. So, and that's boring. Yeah.
That's way cool.
It's boring though. It's really because you have to do it really flat. Because sometimes they'll have like the numbers and months and days. So you have to go October, November, December, because it's like, press 1. It's like, your card was activated on September 9th, 1984. It's like, but you have to do it the same way because then it'll sound weird if you don't.
Right.
So it's really, really boring.
It's great though. We'd like to know, before we connect you, if you're an idiot or not. Press 1 if you don't know your name. Press 2 if you'd like to know mine. I think it's a great gig. I think it would be great. I don't know. Gigs are gigs. I'm grateful. Every time I go into a booth somewhere and I don't get kicked out, I'm grateful. It's great. And then maybe eventually down the line there'll be a check. That would be nice too. But the work is very important no matter what it is. So.
Next. Where'd she go? Oh, there she is. Where'd she go? She's all the way back there.
Hi, James. Quick question. Would you say James is the ultimate Pokemon trainer as he asks first, and do you think Jessie would get jealous?
He's very polite, isn't he? He really is. I mean, it's funny, I used to joke when Tom Whalen was directing, sometimes we would joke about Ash, because it was like, yeah, Ash, he likes his Pokemon, but he kind of beats the crap out of them. And then they're like laying there with broken bones. He's like, get up! Get up! Damn it, get up! But James, you're right. He's very polite about it. He doesn't want any of his Pokemon to get hurt or anything like that. So yes, he's very gentle and he has good ones. But the poor guy keeps getting bit on the head all the time. And it's right, season 20, he's getting bit more, and I don't know. But he seems to recover quicker. So.
But tolerance.
I think he is a good. Yes, that's true. He's more tolerant. Yes. So that's that.
In Weevil's voice, could you please say, maybe I should keep Exodia?
Maybe I should keep Exodia. Shall I be thoughtful or shall I be aggressive?
Aggressive.
Thoughtful.
Oh.
He's hard to be thoughtful, but let's see.
Maybe I should keep Exodia. Maybe I should keep Exodia, you such and such.
That was clean.
There are children here. Watch your language. there she is. Oh, you're up to the front now.
Hi. So, imagine James and Meowth swap worlds with Weevil Underwood. Do you think that Weevil Underwood would be a better Pokemon thief than James and Meowth would be duelists? Who do you think would be better?
I've never heard that kind of question before.
I know, I have a headache.
That's a crazy question.
I mean, I never, Weevil, I mean, by the time the jig was up with him, he would faint. The jig would be up with James and Meowth, and they would still be there feeling, sorry and sad and stuff.
Well, they blocked off again.
Weevil blasting off. That would be pretty fun.
See, would Weevil blast off after he fainted, so he just
Gotta be like.
But the question, it's not answering the question. I don't think I know the answer.
That's a good question.
Weevil's definitely more of a hard butt than James and Meowth.
But James is a better collector.
Yeah, but Jesse keeps stealing all these bottle caps and Pokeballs. And,
She'll steal Exodia.
I mean, there was a whole season where James must have lost every bottle cap that he had, and he had some seriously good ones. But I don't know. They could probably switch places. But if I had to do one time, I did 5 hours of Weevil voicing, and I had a fever. I got the flu from that, and I was sick for like 3 days. So that, because I can do James and Meowth all day long, and Meowth has got some gravel, but Weevil, everything was about just being clenched.
Meowth, I just falling off a log.
So, but Weevil's definitely a one of a kind. God bless him. Hi. I shouldn't say. Okay.
Sorry. We're following the mic.
Hi, Chikorita's my favorite Pokemon, and I was just wondering if you could do some Chikorita for me.
Well, I voiced, I know it's weird because I have Chikorita on there. I voiced Chikorita for the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. So I didn't actually, it's so misleading, I apologize for that.
It's fine.
So I didn't voice Chikorita because they keep it in Japanese. So Chikorita in the show as the Pokemon is the Japanese version of it.
Oh, okay.
But I voiced her for the Mystery Dungeon when they actually spoke the Team Go-Getters out of the gate. Right. So for that one, I was in that one. Who were you in that?
No.
You weren't in that?
I don't think so.
I wrote it.
You wrote that. You wrote the script for that. Oh man, I can do Piplup for you. Some of the Pokemon are really like, James said, like harsh on your voice. It's almost like voicing Weevil Underwood, because, and we usually save those for last. First we'll like record the people, and then we'll go back and record the Pokemon. But the easiest ones for me are Latios and Latias, because it's like all up in my nose, so it's not in my throat. It's like, so like that's the easiest one for me. They put an echo effect on it, so it doesn't sound like that. It's got this huge echo on it, which is pretty cool. But the harsh ones are like is the Dustox, and the Dustox episode when there's like thousands of Dustox. I was ready to die after that episode. It's like, okay, now you got to do another one. Okay, there's another one. There's another like.
Like the one where I was the male Dustox.
And you were the male Dustox.
Listening in the headphones, and I'm like, oh my God, you're shredding. It was incredible. There was a lot of tone in that.
Yeah. Dustox is difficult. Cacnea. Which Pokemon are harsh on your throat? I'm trying to remember. Muck is.
Because some of them they pitch down a little bit, like Muck especially, because I am Muck, but not that Muck. But every time it's Muck, it's like. And 2 hours of that can be a bit rough. 2 hours of mucking. I'm not going to go there.
You're borderline this round.
I am
Thank you.
Generally speaking, what would you say would be your favorite
Pokemon production out of the specials, the anime episodes, and the movies.
Oh. Is this because we're so close? Is that because... Or...
Oh, the speaker.
Is it the speaker? I swear, I'm not doing anything. I swear. Is it the speaker?
Because of the night down here.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so out of all of them, my favorite is Pokemon Ranger and the Temple of the Sea. That's movie 9. Because I got to voice Manaphy, which was very cool. So, and I voiced May for that movie. And, well, the funniest part that I love is when we switched bodies. That was funny. When Team Rocket switched the bodies, that was the funniest part in there. But, like James said earlier, I was literally crying. I wanted to make it sound believable, and I was just like, give me a minute, and I tried to think of like the deepest, darkest thing that's ever happened in my life. And I at the end, I just started bawling, and you know, when she was saying goodbye, oh, I'm thinking of it right now, it's so emotional. When May was saying goodbye to Manaphy and letting Manaphy go, and it was tough to do more lines because I had to keep blowing my nose, because when you start crying, your nose gets all stuffy, so I'm like, they're like, oh, you sound terrible now, go blow your nose, all right, come on.
So do the first line of the motto when we switch bodies.
Which
when we were different bodies.
Jesse was Meowth? Or, no. Who switched as who?
You were Meowth and I was you. Because
wait,
I had...
James was Jesse. No.
Yes.
James was Jesse, Jesse was Meowth, and Meowth was James.
You still have your own voice.
Right.
Just coming out of the bottom. So the beginning of the motto.
Don't believe what you see. Oh, okay. Prepare for trouble, don't believe what you see.
And make it double, these earrings are just not me.
Right? You wrote that. That was great. That was awesome. Oh, what's your favorite?
Probably that movie too.
You like that movie? Yeah.
I do. I like 19 a lot too.
Yeah.
19 movie was good. I mean, the movies are great. They really go all out on the movies.
The animation, is beautiful. It's gorgeous.
And then I do notice, though, at the beginning of every new, not season, but in Japan they do it by region, of course. So you'll get 200 episodes in a certain region. But what I notice is in the movie, you see that all of the animation, everybody's shaded, and they have like dark and light and shadows and stuff. And so the beginning of a new region, for about 8 episodes, it'll look like the movie. And then they'll be like, and then they start.
Everything's flat.
Everything's flat. By
the mountains are all flat.
It's like, okay, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go see my mom. See you, bye. And that's it.
The trees are like crayon. They just look like crayons. Where did she go? There she is.
Hi, do you guys have any roles that you really miss doing or wish that you could continue doing?
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to go first?
Well, my Ano. I love my Ano. A lot of those shows on 4Kids, you really do get kind of attached to the personalities, and because you're doing your best to really establish something, even if it has been, drawn somewhere else. And then all of a sudden, like there was is it Mew Mew? But I was a guy named Tarb. And I love Tarb. I love being Tarb. And when it stopped, I was really bummed out because I could not be him anymore. So there's a lot of you kind of get attached to everybody. I know if Pokemon ever stops, it's going to be sad.
I'm sad. Don't say that. If you haven't seen, I don't know, has anybody heard of Genshiken? Yes. People forget. If you haven't seen Genshiken, it's really cool. It's an anime about anime fans. So it's really, really cool. They're college kids, they're anime fans, they're video game fans, and it's a great show. It's awesome. And I voiced Odioe Chika in Genshiken, and I miss her so much because a lot of times people are like, oh, otaku, are anime fans, and they're looked down upon. And Odioe, she's funny, she has a lot of different layers to her character, because she doesn't want to be hated by people. She wants to be popular. But deep inside, she loves drawing manga. She's a great artist, and it's great towards the end when she finally accepts like who she is, and she's like, no, these are my real friends. You know, they're the ones who care about me. So I really miss that show a lot. So it's really hard with, wait, one second. It's like, give me the microphone. It's really hard with some anime when it's only like 12 episodes, 26 episodes. I mean, Pokemon's like hundreds and hundreds of episodes, but it's hard when you get, yeah, like you said, when you get attached to a character and it's only 12 or 26 episodes and that's it, and it's gone. You're like, no. And like you get so sad because you get attached to them. What did you want to say?
My favorite thing about Ogiwe in that series is she writes yaoi fan fiction about her real life friends, and she ships them together.
I was trying to keep this clean. Thank you. Notice it's the ladies that try to keep everything clean, and the men are trying to ruin it for me. Stop it. Oh, favorite. Oh, or do you have a? You said your character. Who's your? That was that guy.
But Tog's not my favorite. I mean, my overall favorite, and it's because I'm selfish. James and Meowth get great jokes. Pardon me, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but to be able to write that and know that I get to go in and voice it it's a blessing. I'm really grateful for that. So that's really fun. I enjoy that a lot, more than anything.
Oh, she's your
Out of all of the Pokemon, which one is your favorite?
Oh, I love Piplup. Piplup is my favorite. I love Piplup. So here's a weird reason why. So I'm a Scorpio, and a Scorpio is a water sign, and Piplup is a water Pokemon. I'm a crazy person. So Piplup's just really cute. I love Piplup.
Who's your favorite?
Well, I think Carnivine's my favorite because he was such a sweetheart, but Turtwig is right up there. I love Turtwig. And I have a little, well, you have it, Martha. It's a little plushie. So when you press its paw, Turtwig goes, and then you press it again and it goes, it's like, please and thank you. And that was, because I did that, then I did Groddle, and then I did Torterra. And Torterra's still around. He's got the tree growing out of his back. I mean, how can you complain about having the tree growing out of your back? But Carnivine was just such a, he was like James. That's probably the other thing, is personality-wise, they're the same. And he was always really happy and happy. Poor James could bit on the head, but he was a sweetheart. He looked like in States, I know you have it here, but in McDonald's, there used to be a character, I don't know if they do anymore, called Mayor McCheese. He always looked like a moldy Mayor McCheese, because he was all green and he only had like 3 teeth. So, there you go.
I'm over here now, but looking at the time, we only have a couple of minutes left, so I'm going to give one last quick question to over here, and I'm going to make it last, but if you guys are still signing, maybe you'll take questions at the signings as well.
Oh yeah, we'll be here tomorrow, like all day. We'll be here.
Yeah, it's
I don't think we're flying back until Monday, so we'll be here all day tomorrow. If you have any questions,
I'm going to do a thing I think it's 1:30 on script writing, on adapting, and I'm going to hopefully show you what I start with and end up with, and show you the documents, how it changed. Yeah, it's in here. I believe it's in here. So.
Okay, so one quick question from this guy, and then that's going to be it.
Hello.
Hi.
One question and possibly a request, but Giovanni being a multi-billionaire, do you think nobody in Team Rocket might think, hey, why don't we buy some AK-47s or? How do you think Justin James would sound like whole Nash at gunpoint for the Pikachu?
I'm not answering. You can answer.
You know, the funny thing is, James' family has more money than God. You know, there was the one episode where he had to go give Chimaco to Nanny and Pop-Pop, so they go to one of the summer cabins, which was a mansion. And the thing is, they're loaded, so they could do anything they want, but he gives all that up. They would never do that kind of stuff. Meowth might think about it. He's pretty good at building bazookas, and right, he wants to blow the boss's poison the kingdom come. But he never will. He never will. So, and there's the boss right here, and there's the Persian. So, good riddance. Whatever.
Good riddance to the poison.
Yeah.
Poison.
Okay, well, I think we're going to have to draw this Q&A to a close, but can I get everyone to give an absolutely huge round of applause?
Thank you for coming to SunnyCon. Thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you very much. And hope to see you all tomorrow, too.